Alrighty, y'all. Hello. Taking a look at some of the most interesting things happening lately in the continent of Europe and countries within. Let's go ahead and jump into this. I found some pretty crazy stuff. So first up, we have Royal Guard faints during King Charles's birthday ceremony. This is pretty crazy. So I'm going to go ahead and start it. We can actually do this. Maybe we can do this one, actually. So this guy, the video starts out, he's already on the ground, fainted. Somehow comes back to it, stands up, but he's clearly out of it. It's kind of scary. And he, you know what? I admire the dedication, right? What a trooper, man. This guy is going back at it. Clearly not, feeling right, though. Thankfully, they are there quickly to help. And he is carried off on a stretcher, rightfully so. Now, I'm imagining, I don't know the whole context here. I'm imagining it's pretty warm out. I mean, it looks to be very sunny. And I assume these uniforms are very hot, right? I just imagine they are, especially if it's sunny out and it's, just any sort of a warm day. So, yeah, honestly, it's kind of scary to see. I mean, that sucks. You never want to see people passing out from the weather, especially in like a nice, something as important as this and as formal as this. It sucks. But honestly, true dedication from this individual as well. I mean, he was willing to get right up and get back into it. No one's going to mention the other guy being carried off by stretcher in the background. They're dropping like flies. Whoa. Hold up. The other one. There's the team coming to get him. Where's the other one at? Oh my God, right there. I did not notice that. I was looking at this guy the first time. Holy crap. Wow. That is freaky. Jeez, man. What an unfortunate side effect of, what's supposed to be a nice event, I imagine. Alrighty, we're traveling to Spain, España, for this one. Check it out. If I can get it showing here. Now, air shows are awesome. Look at that. What a beast. Whoa, whoa. Some crazy maneuvers. Whoa. Whoa. Look at this. So, I mean, first of all, what a place for an air show. I've seen a couple, of course, kind of in flat areas in like Illinois and stuff. Not with a backdrop like this. This is a beautiful area for an air show, but also, I mean, kind of scary, right? I mean, you gotta have that bird in order, right? Looks like a F-18, doesn't it? Jeez, he gets low, really low. I don't know if he meant to do that, if he's just like a boss, or if it got a little out of his hands a little bit. It kind of floppily comes down kind of hard, right? And luckily this thing has so much power, he's able to scoop it out of it. But it appears to be super, super low to the water and like near the beach there. I imagine that would be scarier than shit. Now, real quick, I will show you, we have a different camera angle from the beach, so you can see the maneuver not go correctly there. Oh, that is freaky. Wow, that is freaky. What a beautiful, thunderous sound from that thing. I'd say that's a hell of a recovery, right? I'm not a pilot, so, don't take my word for it, but I feel like that maneuver didn't go exactly how they had planned. But an amazing recovery. Wow, thank goodness no one was hurt here. Meanwhile, in Finland, they have a reflection spray for deer to decrease accidents. Now, this is something absolutely wild. You see this? I don't know if this photo's enhanced or whatever, but I mean, even if it has half the brightness of a sort of reflection like we see in the right picture here, that is insanely useful. I mean, it works. It's also scary as hell. This looks like something straight out of a horror game, right? I mean, you're coming up on the street and you see this. you're going to see it. You also might, your skin might crawl in your vehicle before you are able to maneuver around this thing. I mean, wow. What a concept, though. This is one of those things where you never think of until you see it done. And it's almost like a relatively simple idea, but yet it kind of amazingly genius at the same time. And we have a view in a German ambulance. Now, I expect this to be incredible, as we've seen clips like this before. Right away, pulling up to this, you think, how are you going to get through this? That's what my American mind thinks. But sure enough, look at this. Look at the prep here. I mean, how is this even done ahead of time? I don't know. Right? I mean, everything happens right away here. Like, if an ambulance is coming, people aren't going to be maneuvering in front of it until it's right on top of them. And then you're praying that they actually know where to go. Because, some American drivers, of course, just don't. But look at this. I mean, the whole area is cleared. They had a perfect, literally party in the Red Sea, I always say, right? Like, they had a perfect area to sneak through very easily. And there's, of course, the wrecked car in question. Awesome emergency vehicles, as always. And, of course, that's what gives us Germans tears of joy when things work as they are supposed to. Much respect. It almost brings me to tears. Seeing things that I must have that, sort of trait, because I can appreciate when things, even simple things, work exactly how they are supposed to. It's a thing of beauty. And I don't know how everyone doesn't just appreciate that. It's not just discipline or kindness. If you fail to create a lane and block an emergency vehicle, you will be fined. But more importantly, if you embarrass yourself in front of everyone on the road, if you are the sucker who forgot to give way and now have to maneuver under stress with everyone else staring at you. That is a great point, just a second point here, right? That's applicable anywhere. But of course, the first point, I don't know how that works here. I don't think you can really be fined unless you were literally causing an accident here in the U.S. But unfortunately, of course, you're supposed to. There's rules, right? There's road rules. You're supposed to move out of the way, especially usually to the right. It depends on the state. Here in the U.S., and of course, like I said, many people don't follow it, especially to this degree, like we always see in Germany. But honestly, as someone, who doesn't like tickets and fines, I don't like that as much as the next guy, but, maybe they need to do that here, right? Maybe it'll get people's butts in gear and have them get out of the way, because at the end of the day, when fire trucks and ambulances and police personnel are trying to get to a crazy call, they need to get there quickly, because that could be the difference for someone, right? That could be a big deal. People just on their phone and in their own world, not giving a damn about anything around them here, which is unfortunately, it seems like half the cars on the road. It adds up, and it's really dangerous. And it'd be nice if they kind of had some incentive to actually pay attention. And showing some love for Poland here as well. This came up as recommended from that other post. And I have to say, again, excellent job. You just won't see this organized for this amount of time and duration here in the U.S. It's truly spectacular. Right? Look at this. Totally different country. Same incredible just awareness from the masses, right? I mean, I love it. Truly spectacular. The U.S. highways could never. And of course, my favorite comment, guys. See, I'm not the only one. You'll never see that in the USA. Yeah, that's a promise. Look at all these suckers, free lane to the front of traffic. Yeah, this is a genius comment, because that's exactly what multiple people would think. And then that's how you would not have this. In the U.S., there would be a Dodge Ram blocking the middle because they don't want to get cut off when they merge 2 miles early. Or straight up this happens as well. Unfortunately, true story. Now, of course, it's not all perfect, right? I try to show both sides of everything when I can. And this is an example of not so great driving in Germany. And of course, most drivers in most countries in Europe are going to be better than, a huge group here in the U.S. That may be true, but of course, they're not perfect, and there's bad drivers everywhere. And this post, it kind of shows that a little bit. Check this out. Holy crap. Rev limiter and everything. Car alarms. 71 years old. Honestly, in my opinion, that's not that old. I don't know if they're just, what's the deal? Something. I feel like they should know how to drive still. So we don't know the scenario, but they drove right into a parked police car. Yeah. Come on, bro. Now, I imagine this is just a very awkward interaction, right? I'm assuming whoever, what policeman's responsible for that squad car there, I'm assuming they're nearby or some police personnel's nearby, not to mention other onlookers. That's got to be pretty awkward, right? What do you say to the policeman there? I have to say, this is the most interesting tank video I've seen in a while. We have a tank in the field, but not a war field. Literally a farming field. I believe this is in the UK. Interesting. Now, it makes sense, right? I mean, tanks are awesome, and they can be used for practical uses, right? There's got to be more examples of stuff like this. If you know of any, please let me know. I feel like this is kind of cool, right? Like, think about it. There's a lot of tanks over time that have been made, and of course, no one wants war, so hopefully, there should be no war or less and less wars over time, and you could find uses for the military vehicles, right? Of course. And tanks are kind of awesome when they're just looked at as a vehicle and not as a, war machine. Why not use it for something like this? I kind of like this idea. A return to form. The first tanks were just armored tractors after all. You know what? Oh my God, I have heard that before. That is freaking awesome. The first tanks were just armored tractors. There we go. It is literally basically a tractor. Now that's badass farming. All right, this one's titled, Someone Didn't Have Their Morning Coffee, Perhaps. I can't tell exactly where it's at. It looks like the license plate does say PL in the little EU designation there, so I'm assuming this is Poland, or at least the car is from Poland. Yeah, that's not the right way. Even I know that. That's not how to do a roundabout. Wow, that's awkward. That guy's cracking up. So, what was funny about this is, I skipped the early part. Like, this thing waited around forever. And once they went, after all that, I mean, they were even facing, like, look at them. They were even angled the way they're supposed to go. What are you doing, right? After all that time, they're just like, you know what? I'm going to hook a left into this roundabout. I'm going to drive into traffic, okay? I didn't know it had audio, so I had to show you with audio. They are loving this. Yeah. It's the little things in life that keep you going, right? Nothing like a good laugh in traffic. This is Germany. Okay, another one from Germany. What do we got going on here? This guy has stopped in the middle of the road. What actually looks to be like sort of a major road or a highway, or I should say Autobahn. Oh my God, it's for, what are those, geese? No way. You know what? Bravo, man. Bravo. Hey, safely doing that is a little bit of a task, right? I mean, if you're on what's supposed to be kind of a higher speed road, I feel like that would be kind of a little bit sketchy to try and stop traffic. But you know what? They did it, and they saved whatever those are. If someone wants to weigh in, those look like geese to me, but I'm just not sure. All right, branching out, we're going to look at a couple pretty random, interesting videos from elsewhere. I'm actually not sure where this is from. I think maybe the U.S. or Canada, although I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure this is making the rounds everywhere. Food with a window view. These are food reviewers on some sort of YouTube or TikTok. Yeah, not what they expected at all. Actually terrifying. regardless if you're filming or not. But the fact that they were filming a video and they're mid-bite. And what's funny is, look at this. They're loving it. I think we could gather from the review that wasn't finished is that they like the food. All right? So anyone that was wondering. Also crazy. Like, you see the debris flying in the glass. How scary is that? Now, this is cool. This is back to Europe, of course. This time in the UK, we are in London, England. 700-year-old church in London being suspended in midair. Now, let's kind of zoom in on this guy. This is absolutely mind-blowing to me, right? I mean, construction projects are always fascinating to me. I mean, they're just something that most people take for granted. I mean, look at the size of these excavators and construction equipment, right? They look like toys down there. It's kind of crazy. So you have this deep pit, and you have all this equipment, and you literally do, at least it looks that way to me, this thing is literally elevated, kind of floating, in a sense, right? And to think how ancient it is, 700-year-old, that's just not something you see here in the U.S. So, like, 700-year-old structure, no pressure here, right? I mean, this thing's going through a lot. I think it's fascinating that people can work on this kind of stuff, and pending that they get this done correctly and, nothing gets damaged. I mean, wow. How incredible is that? I freaking love hearing about this. And speaking of ancient structures, this one might be new, but it sure resembles something ancient. Ancient, I should say. Take a look at what this is. Any wild guesses out there? Yeah, you might recognize this as a pretty famous landmark, I'd say. That is a coliseum made out of chocolate. Yeah. Wow. This is something that's, again, this isn't a construction project, but it kind of is, just scaled down. And this basically is one guy, I think. Again, very impressive. My question is, what do they do? When you see food art like this, in this case, it's just chocolate, and it looks so cool like that, right? The different layers, it kind of looks weathered in parts. It looks like pretty accurate for being made out of chocolate, I have to say. What happens to this after, I would hope you take a million pictures of this and videos. That way you have proof that you did it and people can appreciate it. But if this doesn't, what do you do with this? I guess. And I'm sure there's different scenarios, different things that could happen. Do you eat it? Like, do you just eat a little bit? You have other people share it, and like no one could eat this whole thing, I don't think. I think that's a little too much chocolate. But yeah, what happens to this?
Brand new spring has just opened up.
What?
Try and jump. They got.
How do you?
Cool fucking video.
A new formed natural spring bubbling up from the ground. Like, I can't even comprehend that. How are you, like, imagine just seeing this. What are the chances of that? That is so freaking cool. Look at that. Wow. Okay, that, I could be wrong. That looks like, that looks like the UK, right? And now I don't know where. I don't know if that's Scotland. I don't know if it's Wales. I don't know. You guys can correct me. That is so freaking cool, though.
I'm going to try and jump. Let's get a cool fucking video.
This is so cool.
You're done? Yeah.
A video from the Titanic Museum shows how cold the water was for Titanic victims. Oh my God, that's scary, man.
Oh my goodness.
No way, bro.
Like a burning sensation. I'm dead.
You're done? You're done? Oh my God.
8 seconds.
Oh my God. Like, is there a point where this...
Just their hand, by the way.
And, like, people have to pull their hands
Yeah.
Yeah, for 2 minutes.
Oh my
2
God.
minutes.
And you only got a minute and a half left.
That's like a $500
That's
thing.
so mean. Oh my God.
She lasted 40 seconds. Everyone else was like 8 or 10 or 20. Oh my God, that is scary. The fact that there were a handful of people that were pulled from the water and survived is amazing. I think that makes it even more amazing that we already imagined, right? The Titanic story just, honestly, it freaks me out. Some people are really into it and like more power to you. I think it's just scary and sad, man. Interesting fact, submerging your hands in ice water is somewhat common method of measuring pain threshold. That lady was tough. Wow. That is interesting as well. I mean, it's weird how pain threshold would be related to like temperature, but I guess it actually makes sense. Like it's just really cold, but really cold hurts. So, yeah, that is just freaky that people, oh my God, right? Trying to survive in water like that is just the scariest thing ever. Anyway, we're going to end on that. I thought that was pretty interesting. I love these videos. More to come for sure. I hope you are having an awesome week. I really appreciate you taking the time to tune in and watch this. And, well, hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. My name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. Until next time, y'all. Catch you later.